So this is my extended thoughts on number 7 of my top 10 changes I want to see in Disney Infinity 3.0 of the toy box. Um, Number 7 is HUD control. Head-up display, for those that don't know what that is. All the stuff, if you look at my screen over here, like you can see Maleficent up there in the top right hand corner. You can see the map just behind, or the radar, or whatever it is. Where is it? Where's my right finger? Just over here underneath the HUD control text there. That's all HUD elements. So stuff that peripheral information displays that appear on the screen while playing in the toy box or in the game. Now, obviously, these are really helpful, but there are situations that arise that they actually become not annoying is not the right word, but like having them does affect the gameplay of the types of games that you're trying to creating. I will once again draw attention to the toy box that I have just built, the Neverland Starving games. You can find it on Disney Infinity's website if you want to play it. But this toy box was inspired by the Hunger Games. And the idea of the toy box was it was supposed to be a really competitive space to actually pit Disney Infinity characters against each other. But the problem with it is, and again, not with my toy box, but the problem with the gameplay mechanic is that in the game, when a player is a certain distance away from you, it actually brings up a little number above the head in a circle. So player 2, player 3 hovers about the circle and gives away the location of the other players. Now, this is helpful, obviously, if you were playing a game where you wanted to find your teammate or the person you're playing against. But in this toy box, I would have liked to be able to have a stealth mechanic so that you could choose to play in your starving game scenario as a stealth player and hide out in caves. Obviously, this HUD element completely breaks that capability. And so that's what I mean by the ability to switch those things off. Maybe you don't want your player knowing how much health they have. So the ability to say, well, don't display that. All these certain things are just don't have any specific need, but again, it should be put in the creator's toolbox to be able to determine which of these HUD elements are going to display and which are not. Because, as I have just explained, they have huge gameplay ramifications. So that's what I mean by HUD control in that sense with gameplay. The other side of things is when you're trying to create Infinitoon content like we have done in the past and will continue to do, where you're trying to create, again, creative content that doesn't even necessarily have to be video. Maybe you're just trying to frame a really great photo for Instagram or to share on your Twitter account. You want to just, I don't know, but frame a really great shot using the toy box just to be used primarily as a still. The ability to switch all that stuff off is going to create a much better image because you don't have to either hide it in Photoshop or so on. One thing that's classically annoying for us when we're creating Infinitoons is when you're certain distance again from a partner or an enemy, you auto lock onto them and you get this annoying target reticle on the character that appears. That's so frustrating. All I need is the ability to switch that stuff off. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. But the point is, this is supposed to be a game building platform. And so we need control over these things. Maybe there's some things that it doesn't make sense to turn off, but and I should also state that it's not just turning them off in some submenu. It should be linked to a creativity toy that we can switch them on and off at will as we determine. Because maybe we do want to display only the low health bar when they actually reach a certain level of health. So these things need to be dynamic and be able to be switched on and off throughout the toy box experience using a creativity toy of some type. That's my thoughts on that. I think that again will help us create better, more mature, engaging games and storytelling. Let me know what you think. What would you do what would be the number one thing that you would want to get removed from the HUD from one of your toy boxes? Are there any HUD elements that you think that should be added to the HUD so that it can add to the gameplay? Let me know in the comments and we'll discuss them in a future episode of the Inside Infinity podcast. Thank you for watching.